Good morning, class. Well, this is my video on the presentation that I did on Prezi, and it's choosing one specific topic on policing, and I chose community policing because I think that's an important part of policing in our country. Based on what's been going on lately, I think that having community policing is very important. It ties in the community's trust with the police, and also with businesses and the community. Now, I wanted to define community policing because most people don't understand what it may mean, but the philosophy of community policing promotes organizational strategies, which supports the systematic use of partnership and problem-solving techniques between police and community. And it goes hand in hand with crime prevention, the DARE program, and a lot of those programs that they use for that the departments use for public safety. And I think it's an important part of policing, only because it helps get to know the community and the people in it, and by doing that, you'll develop trust, and you'll develop a way of cohesion with the community, that when something happens, you could be able to go to your neighbors or to neighborhoods where you're going to get help to solve crime. As I was doing my presentation and doing some research, I found that the White House themselves are trying to help in this effort. They came up with certain criteria to be able to help with community policing, which the president had put aside over $263 million to invest in the police departments, which means that they'll be able to provide body cameras for departments that will help minimize a lot of the use of force and police brutality, and vice versa. It'll also record crime that's being committed, or even when a citizen is resisting arrest, or even just doing searches in vehicles. And I think that once again, that's an essential tool for police departments to have. And the good thing about this is that the president also put in his package that any department that purchases this equipment, they'll match 50%, which is going to help in purchasing more and more equipment for community policing. One of the other things I think that is important is what are the advantages of community policing. And I think that, as I spoke before, I think having police presence in the neighborhood is important. Now, a lot of big cities, they have officers that walk the beat, and what that does is it provides even more closeness to between the police and the community. They're able to walk and socialize. Well, not socialize, but just get to know the people in the community. They're able to talk to businesses and let them know that they're safe, and that it will be safe, and anything that they could do, they'll do to make the area safe. And it also allows the police officers to become more familiar in their assigned areas and neighborhoods too. And but there's differences, because as we have police officers in patrol cars, even though that's another way of community policing, but it still separates the genuine association with the community. It takes away the personal dealings with the neighborhoods and people in the neighborhood. But at the ending of the day, a lot of departments are also purchasing, you know, uh, equipment like bikes and segways that will help them, patrol in areas that high crime areas, but they're able to communicate with the community a lot better because they're not zipping through the community and just not being um, very not having that communication that the community needs and support that community needs from police departments. But at the same time, community policing also will allow the community to not only trust the police, but the police could trust the community. So when there's crimes, they'll be able to, talk to them when there's investigations, and they're able to get answers and leads that'll lead to arrest for crimes that are being committed. Another thing is that there's also disadvantages to community policing because some residents are afraid of the police. They feel that they're going to be attacked. They feel they're going to be held responsible for not cooperating with the police when they're doing investigations. So there's a lot of tension right now between police and the community. So that's the only disadvantages of community policing is that the help that police will need from the community, some won't get it because they're afraid to talk. And, of course, the community don't want to be seen like they're snitching on these criminals because they feel they're going to be retaliated on or they're going to come after them if they do talk. But as far as that, I think that police are having a little bit of defiance from the community because of all the recent events, all the use of force situations that we've seen in the last few weeks. And the thing is also that a lot of the community gets afraid because since a lot of these criminals get, lenient sentencing, they also feel that once they get out, they're going to get, retaliated on for helping police get them arrested. So there's a lot of aspects of this that do that make the community afraid. But I think that all in all, community policing is still an essential part of the police department's efforts to unite the community and the police departments. Now there's also the effectiveness of the community policing is good. There was a research done some time ago, and there's over 281 cities that did a survey with in the Conference of Mayor in 2000, which some of the cities saw that the community policing reduced crime, and also it made a lot of the businesses and communities trust their police. And even here in Clearwater, Florida, they used the city enforcement codes to get rid of crack houses and to maintain residents and businesses, which help make those areas strive and become safe. So there's different things that the with community policing that could be done in order to not only reduce crime but also help the community come together with the police department and work together. And the same thing with Neighborhood Watch programs that's part of community policing, which helps, police have more eyes on the streets, and if there's anything suspicious, this, it helps. But at the ending of the day, I think, community policing is a great way to unite communities and the cities with the police departments. And I think that if we continue to improve it and put money more into it, I think that we are heading in the right direction in order to have a safe and peaceful neighborhoods and even in the cities. But this concludes my video and the presentation, and I hope that this have made some sense, and I hope that we can continue to all unite as one to stop all this violence and use of force, and that we get rid of a lot of the bad apples in our police departments, and make it a good way to just have police that'll do the right thing. And I know there's a lot of good cops out there that do the right thing, but once again, we always have those that don't use their training and overuse their training in order to apprehend offenders, and that's where we're having all these issues. But I thank you, and I appreciate your time.